Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Yep, we got sound. All right, I'm off of mute. Y'all got me yesterday. Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, and you are here in the Java Cafe. We actually have two segments for you this morning. The first one is with someone who is not a stranger to the Java Cafe at all. We were just talking a few minutes ago, and she wears many hats. She's a business owner, a Latina, a mom, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a godmother, presumably, a niece, a granddaughter. She's a lot of things. She's also a member of the Java family and is in here daily. And so I want you all to go in the comments and say, rather than good morning today, in the spirit of having our sister with us this morning, Pamela Leins, who is with us. She's coming in, and I want you to say buenos dias this morning instead of good morning, because that is her signature staple. You are a staple in the Java Cafe.
Buenos dias.
Yes, we get to hear it rather than read it. Good morning, sis. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? My cheeks hurt already. You got me smiling mad early.
Listen, it's we're here for business, but it's all love and all family. And so let's first check in. Like, folks see you in the comments, and maybe between the gap of you being on in the fall and then now, you know, folks may see you in but not know who you are. So like, catch us up. Tell us what's going on. Congratulations. You were a recipient and host of the latest space grant from the city of Boston to expand your business, which is a barbershop. So now you're going to have what, two barbershops?
Yep. So the first one is in the Cut, Boston. It's in Mission Hill, right across from Roxbury Crossing, next to AK's Pizza. Okay. And the new one will be right in the heart of Nubian Square. So I'm super excited about that.
You're going to be in Nubian Square?
Yeah. I'm going to be in the old Revex space, Revex Lab space. So but I got something really special going on there. So when it all comes together, I'll be back for another show.
we can definitely do that and maybe make that after dark. But I just wanted to folks are over on Instagram, Black Dollar USA, DL. He said, Pamela, what's up? Oh Jesus. Sins Pierre Events over on Instagram says good morning and buenos dias to you as well. And so congratulations on that with the space grant. And also we can jump into the business. You're the executive director of the Equity Fund. I also have to name that since last fall, I've done a few events. One was in play before we did the equity, but we did some wonderful things last fall. So catch us up on what's going on. And you were adamant about the fact that the money that came in, you're going back to the community to find out what it is that they think should be done with the money. And I think that's a part of why we're here today. There's the event tomorrow. And so let's go in.
Let's
and
go.
Catch us up.
Let's go. So last time I was here, I was actually announcing the event that we were having at Grace by Nia. So I think it was in November that we met.
Yes.
And that event was an absolute success. It was sold out, packed to the rim. And you and I did some serious damage there. Within, what was it, like 5 minutes? We raised almost $20,000. Yeah.
Senator Liz Miranda started it off with 1,000, and then when I heard that, you had told me what the match would be able to be, and I was like, "Hold on, let's go to church real quick." And within 5 minutes, we raised $19,000.
Yep. So we were able to raise through that event alone the 50,000, and
Yep.
then the board of directors for BEDF, which I thought was super important. When I went to them, I said, "Hey, I think we really need to put our money where our mouth is, and
Yep.
so let's take some of our own funds from our reserves and invest it in this fund." So Equity Boston is the new fund that we've given birth to. I feel like I gave birth to it back in November of 2022. In November of 2023, we had our first anniversary, our first fundraiser. So we matched the 50,000. So we raised 500, not yet, not
It's
yet.
coming. It's coming.
Yeah, we raised the first $100,000 to put in the Equity Boston Fund. And then now we are kicking off with the breakfast, and we're actually going to announce a $10 million fundraising campaign. So we gave birth, it has started crawling, and now I feel like it's ready to fly, and I'm super excited about that.
So you're doing like I almost said capital campaign, but you don't have brick and mortar per se. So you're looking to raise $10 million. So tell us time frame, when, like 10 million.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna take it a little step back just for folks that so I am the executive director of the Boston Education Fund. The Boston Education Fund is the fiscal sponsor and fundraising partner for Boston Public Schools. We basically help schools and departments fundraise, give them the ability to fundraise, get philanthropic funding, anything outside of the city, state, federal funding that's in the city budget, in DPS's budget. So this is like additional funds to complement the budget. And so as an organization, we had never really been a fundraising organization. We only really gave that resource to the schools to do their own fundraising. So when I came in, I'm the inaugural executive director for this organization. It's very cool to say. I knew that we needed to fundraise, and I didn't necessarily have a product, right? Like I didn't have the selling point. I knew we wanted to fundraise. We knew it was to support the Boston Public Schools, but I didn't have an actual, like a tangible. And so that's pretty much how Equity Boston was born. And the idea is that it's a new fundraising avenue for the district as a whole. And what I'm really doing that's super different than anyone else across the board is marrying the concept of philanthropy with participatory budgeting and grant making.
Yes.
For the sole purpose of supporting the Boston public school system. So it's like three different worlds that have always kind of worked in tandem, but never together.
With intentionality there.
Right, with the intentionality of really advancing educational equity. So, and I always speak about this, and I think I probably even mentioned it the last time I was here, is like we have so many schools, and all of the schools have different resources. They all have access to different resources. And sometimes the resource is as good as like the parent that's in the school.
That's right.
You know, I use myself as an example for my son's school. He's in 6th grade now. I brought all the resources because, you know, I know how to navigate. I know how to fundraise and all of that. And like, but that's going to leave with me. Right. And hopefully I've given them, it's going to go wherever he goes. I'm going to follow that.
Yep.
Hopefully I've given enough foundation that they can build off of that. But that's kind of like the inequities that happen. That is, you know, there's just things that are very natural because of the way life is set up.
Yep.
So with this fund, again, we're marrying the concept of philanthropy and participatory budgeting, which really has when you think of participatory budgeting, it's we really think about like with public funds, with public dollars.
Yeah.
Money that is allocated like from the city budget for participatory budgeting. But this time it's like, no, well, we don't need that. We want to show you that this works with philanthropy. So whether you donate $5 or $5 million, it's all going to the same bucket, and you're going to know and feel super confident with the fact that the community is going to decide what those needs are. And then at even a deeper level is that once we decide what the needs are in terms
Yep.
of priorities, we're going to reopen up a granting process within the schools where they will have their proposal developments, and they're going to develop their own proposals for their schools, for their needs, and then we're all able to vote on it, and then the winning proposal will get funded. So that's really the idea, and that's kind of how we got to the $10 million for now. I feel like we're being a little on the safe side, honestly. I want to
With 10
challenge,
million?
because I said 10 million by 2030. That's the
Okay.
big picture. So
Okay.
about 2 million a year or so.
Yeah. For
Which
you,
is
I don't see that being like a big issue at all.
No, you know what the problem really is, and that what I've been facing is that because this is such a new, innovative approach,
Mhm.
I have to like educate folks on it, right? And it's not so much us, it's educating the funders, the people that are in control of their money, because philanthropy traditionally has worked one way.
Yep.
I'm the holder of funding, and like if I want to tell you, Jimmy, I'm going to give $1 million to Java with Jimmy, but you need to you need to put my face in your background every
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Like you probably be like, okay, and maybe you put a little one, but you know what I mean? Like we work backwards from what the philanthropist says, instead of saying like, actually, your $1 million can really go a long way supporting all of these schools or these needs, or just really having that conversation. So I think a big part of this is, and I've mentioned this before, is really just kind of taking a step back and having the human conversation to
Yep.
see what the needs are, and like let's meet people with what they need. And in this case, it's the schools, the departments, the educators. I'm really a big advocate for educators. Shout out to Educators Appreciation Week this week.
It is?
It is
What's
this
that?
entire week, Educator Appreciation Week. So thank a teacher.
Okay. We missed that because we try to look at affinity months, affinity weeks, usually in the space of health. But shout out to all the teachers and the educators. And let's just pause for a minute. And Pam, you may not be in the classroom, but you're well connected and get your perspective. A lot of this flexibility in funding and programming, I think, is going to have a huge impact on some of the atypical programming that we're going to need post pandemic, a term that some people have some varying thoughts about. And so, from your perspective, what do you see coming down the line? What type of proposals, and in the context ethically of, you're not, you know, how folks are, you're not putting something out there, but in your mind, what have you dreamed about? What have you thought about the type of proposals you want to see receive that are atypical of sort of the traditional mentoring, after school, pay the coordinator, like, what are you looking for? And also in the context of being sensitive to where our young people are now, and as they accelerate and where the expectations are that you think they would have got around socially. Anyway, you know where I am.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in the context of being able to address some of the psychosocial, social emotional needs that will come with our young people, that the schools really, one, it isn't their place, and let's be 100,
Yep.
and two, don't have the capacity and resources to
Right.
do the wonderful stuff that you're trying to fund?
So I'm so happy you asked that, because I'm actually going to talk about the process itself
Okay,
and what
let's
we're doing for this breakfast. So participatory budgeting, there's a lot of processes behind it, and it's done across the world. So it's not like I'm inventing something new.
Can we
Like
shout out Shari?
Shari Davis, yes, absolutely. Shout out to Shari Davis and Francesco Tina.
Yes, yes, yes. Yep.
Both of them are the ones that opened my eyes and educated me on participatory budgeting. So, and that's from when I was in the city, when I was at BCYF.
Yep.
I absolutely loved watching the process that was everything that had to do with the PB process. So, and that's honestly what triggered me. I'm like, I've just fell in love with the concept of the community being involved in these types of decisions. So, for the breakfast, what I really wanted to do is, one, anybody that knows me knows that I don't do your typical events. I
No.
know how to throw a party. I know how to
Mhm.
do, I know that's something that I like, I'm very proud of. And so I really wanted to think about how this breakfast can really make an impact. And so what we did was we truncated the big process of the PB
Mhm.
into like, we made it work. And
Okay.
so a few weeks ago, we released on our socials a Polis poll. It was like a survey you could go through. And basically, what we asked folks was to agree or disagree or add their own some strengths within BPS that gives us hope. So it's really framing it from a
From an
positive
asset bit.
asset-based framework,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So through that, we got over 550 votes or so, which is obviously a minimal amount, but like it was
It's
good
enough.
enough
It's a
to
good data
get,
point.
yeah, we had about 550 votes. I think we ended up with about 34 statements, like asset-based statements. And then the top three of them, we used them. Last week, we went to Beat the Odds. We partnered with the youth organization Beat the
Okay.
Odds.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. And we brought those three top statements to the room. And we had community members, we had young people, we had educators, we had funders, like the entire ecosystem representation, some way or another. We had
Yep.
parents from the Citywide Parent Council. We had Corey McCarthy. Shout out to Corey, who's been like
See the support.
amazing
Yep. Yep.
partner in all of this. And we brought them together. We gave them those three statements and then said, all right, give us proposals, create proposals. Within 2 hours, we had 6 proposals. And Jimmy, when I tell you that I have cried and have been an emotional wreck, just proud of like everything that's been happening and unraveling. The proposals are amazing. We came down to the top 3. Those 3 proposals are going to be presented tomorrow. We're going to showcase the actual voting portal in the breakfast.
In real time.
The people at the breakfast will be able to vote. And we are allocating from the 100,000 that we raised.
Hold on. I don't let me see if I got the. Don't. All right. I can't find the drum thing. All right, go ahead.
From the 100,000 that we raised in November, I'm allocating $10,000 to support that proposal.
Whoever wins out of the 3 proposals.
Yep.
So that tomorrow, people that so okay. So somebody's gonna walk away with $10,000 tomorrow.
Not somebody, the proposal.
The well, not
Yeah.
well,
So in the proposal, and that's the thing. Like I want folks to really understand. We had to like adjust things, obviously.
Yep.
To make it so that 1, there's impact. 2, we all understand the process. We all feel like we've contributed to the process and we're going to actually see it happening. So imagine what we were able to do with $10,000. Now we're trying to do, imagine what we're going to be able to do with $10 million.
10 million.
And so that's the real, like, I just wanted people to get a snapshot, a glimpse
Right.
of what we're doing. The $10,000, we had parameters that we had to set so that I knew that it was something that, let's say, BEDF could implement.
Okay.
Right. And I want to share kind of like what the proposals are, but I will say like we had an
give us
app.
a general 50,000.
Yeah. We had an idea of an app. We had an idea of some sort of educator summit. We had really great ideas. And I'm talking about 2 hours. Imagine we're doing this over a year within the schools where
And
they
you
can
condensed it.
really think about the process and like what it's going to need. We're also thinking about sustaining the hi Corey, the sustainability about this. So it's not just like a one and done. The funding will be over a couple years. We've really thought about how we're going to target the schools. There's 109 schools. The goal will be that eventually all of them will be part of this. But we're targeting there's an opportunity index that the Boston Public School uses, right?
Yep.
And usually the opportunity index, there's like the top tier, which is like the best of schools, and then the bottom tier, which is the ones that need the most support.
Mm-hmm.
We're intentionally targeting the middle one first.
Okay.
The middle one first, because it seems like that's the one that kind of always just stays there because they don't get all the resources.
Okay, yep.
So the idea really is that we're being super intentional. We're aligning ourselves with the priorities of BPS. So yes, this is a standalone project now as us as a 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
But the real idea is that, eventually we can go to the city and say, hey, look at this. This worked. We were able to raise 10 million, match it. We could go to the state. We were able to raise 10 million, match it. So our 10 million will eventually become 30 million. And the goal is that it continues it's cyclical. We'll continue to do this. There's always going to be needs. There's always going to be big corporations that need to give funding, and they have corporate responsibility.
That's right.
That don't contribute to education, Boston Public Schools education specifically. So that's my target, right? But it's not only them, it's us.
To be a part of the process, even if we can't give, and let's back up a little bit and say $5, $10 you can give.
Exactly.
But you can also give, as you said, one of the assets was being a parent. One of the assets could be volunteering. One of the assets could be participating and supporting your children. And
yeah, there's so many ways to involve it. And so for me, I want to be very intentional. I am very intentional in how we include everyone in the ecosystem. No one has a higher stake in the ecosystem than our students.
That's right.
Like everything needs to be centered around our students. And I would argue our educators, they're the ones doing the work.
Yep.
But then everyone else, we're all contributing to this. And so again, like you said, whether it's $5 or $5 million, we're all making an impact. We all have the ability to vote on what we think the priority should be. And I think this is really going to be a disruptor in terms of the systems that have been in place and how philanthropy has been talked about in general. We're really asking folks to give up power and trust in the community that the ones on the receiving end are the ones that know what the needs are the best.
It goes back to what we often say, and I think I said it when you was on before, is those that are closest to the pain need to be closest, to the power. And the thing that I like that you're doing is, when we say power, I think sometimes we become conditioned in traditional models of power. Well, there's a whole nother power cable or power source that's being created right here, that is driven by, parents and educators and young people. And so one of the things I wanted to ask you to speak to as we get ready to cross over with the wonderful director and playwright, Brother Maurice is coming in. I know you support the arts. How, and it's they're going from STEM, I think, to STEAM now. There's that strong advocacy of adding that A in there. And so can you give me, as we get ready to bring in Brother Maurice, can you give me your perspective? I'm not sure if you're aware of the Strange Loop that's currently playing. We're going to go check that out soon. I think the blackout night is Friday, but we're getting ready to bring him in. But as he's coming in, what is your perspective in education as it pertains to the arts, and what does it do to sort of support the educational space?
I would say arts have made me who I am. I love everything about the art. I mean, look at me. I'm literally surrounded by art. My entire office is like a miniature art gallery. And I just think that is what has given me the creative freedom to look at things from outside of the box, like create my own box. And that's why, I'm in a very traditional nonprofit space of, thinking about fundraising. My mentality, my point of view, the way that I look at things wouldn't be as creative as it is if it wasn't activated by the arts. And so that's how I keep it alive on my end of things. And I just think it's super necessary. The creative, I'm a little kid. I'm the 8-year-old little Pam, singing always.
Wait a minute, the 8-year-old little Pam. I just got a whole vision. Oh my goodness. I just really wanted to hear your point of that. And Maurice, please meet Pam Leins. She runs a organization here called the Boston Equity Fund, and they just created an initiative that ultimately by 2030, they hope to raise $10 million to go in and support atypical sort of programming and resources for Boston Public Schools. And Pam Maurice is the director of The Strange Loop, which is a play that started on April 26th, I believe, and is running through April 15th. May 15th. I got to get my months together.
Well, it's run through May 25th.
May 25th. See, I did visual, so that was a 1, 2 instead of a 1. Anyway, but I'm glad for you to toot across. Maurice, please say respond to what Pam said about the arts, and then Pam will let you go because we know you got a lot of work to do to get ready for tomorrow. I'm worried about Saturday. Your thing is tomorrow.
Yes, if anybody wants to go, please reach out to me. I have a few tickets. We're almost sold out, but I got my love and I held space for my Java family.
The Java fam. Yes, ma'am. Maurice.
Yes.
That's awesome, Pam. It's a pleasure to meet you. And in another life, I was a Boston Public School teacher, 6 years as a theater arts specialist. So
that's amazing. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It was cool because that'll give us some context of what's.
I don't know if I can say because I wrote a whole play about the ups and downs of that experience. But there were lots of ups, but there were some downs. So, but it was in Dorchester.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Wait, we got to connect.
I'll make sure. I knew Pam's brain was going to run around either a small snippet of it or something like that. And so shout out to Sam or whoever runs the Boston EdFud over on Instagram. Go, Pam. We can't wait to see everyone tomorrow for Voices of Equity. And so, Maurice, it's kind of awesome to hear that you were a teacher. And
and I still am. I'm a professor at Tufts University. So I have a dual passion of making theater and like teaching the next generation.
I'm going to make sure you and Pam get connected.
Yeah, that's amazing. And happy Educator Appreciation Week.
Honey, I've been appreciating myself all week. Yes.
Yes.
I
love it.
And it's Tuesday.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pam, thank you for being here. And folks, we're just going to take a quick break in the crossover and we'll be back in just about 32 seconds. Sit tight and we'll be right back with you. Pam, again, thanks. And Maurice, we're going to jump right in. We're talking about arts and STEM and education. Let's look at what's going on over at the Museum of Science. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you.
This is a farm, and this is growth. This is a brick, and this is a foundation. This is energy. This is fuel. This is a spark. And this is our Earthshot, a reboot of belief in our ability to live sustainably, an engine for enthusiasm about what's possible, and a year of generating more of the one resource we can't live without: hope.
Folks, we are back with Brother Maurice, who is the director of The Strange Loop, which, oh God, this is going to be good. We got about 28 minutes, so we're going to have to work it all in. And so let's just jump right in a little bit, because when folks come in for the first time, I'd like folks to get to know who they are. I got a feeling you might be back in the Java Cafe for a varying amount of reasons. And so, see, you already part of the fam, brother. You came right in. Okay, let's go. So you're a former educator within BPS. You're active at Tufts University, and then you're also have been active in the theater arts. And so, who is Maurice? Say good morning and tell us like who you are, and maybe end up with how your journey ended into this role of directing The Strange Loop and working with various theater companies in this one right now.
I appreciate the question, and thanks for having me. So, I'm from the Washington, D.C. area originally.
Shout out to the DMV.
DMV, and I have a family still there, and I go back pretty regularly. But I've been in the Boston area almost 20 years, and I started as an actor, and then became an educator, and then, like I said in the last segment, I realized it's in my play. I started teaching because I need to pay my bills, right? And then a couple years into it, I was like, oh wait, this is not just a day job. This is an actual dual passion. Like whenever my students succeed or get some type of arts, a student of mine was in a national commercial, a former student, and I started running around my apartment like I had booked it. So I was like, oh, I am just as excited for my students as if I got the work. So then years in Boston Public School, then I got to higher ed. So I've been in higher ed off and on for about 12 years. And then about 7 years ago, I co-founded Front Porch Arts Collective. It's a Black theater company based. We're currently have our office at the Huntington, and about 7 years old, and we're co-producing A Strange Loop with Speakeasy Stage.
So I forgive me because I got excited when Pam was in. I don't have the briefing open in front of me. So I you co-founded or you founded the Front Porch Arts. Okay. I got to meet with your team and the folks that are working with promoting and doing some things. And oh my, well, they'll let you know where there's some opportunities for us to do some great things together very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. So wow.
Likewise.
All right. One of the things is connecting you with Pam. That's going to come out of this as well. I see something great coming out of that. But tell us about the Strange Loop. I have an idea. I want you to give us enough. Well, you do this. Give us enough to intrigue the people, and then we can tell them how they can go see it.
Absolutely. So A Strange Loop is it was on Broadway a few years ago. Won the Tony, won the Pulitzer Prize. Some of the
Wait a minute, you were on Broadway? You
No, I was not.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I saw it.
Okay. All right.
I saw it when it was
I didn't
on
want to miss
Broadway.
that. Okay.
Won all that stuff. So then the rights became available. So we're the first production
Got you.
of the play since the Broadway production that the writer was not involved in. It's the first time we just got the script and made a version just for Boston audiences. It's the first time that's done in the nation. So it's about this Black queer overweight writer who's writing a musical about a Black queer overweight writer who's writing a musical about a Black queer. So that's kind of the Strange Loop. But ultimately, right? But then that's step number one. But then step number two, which I think a lot of people can connect to, is that it questions our self perspective and how we define ourselves. Like when we think of ourselves, when we think of I, what is I? Is it our truest self, or is it all the stuff we were taught, all the stuff we were told, all the stuff we were told about ourselves, all the thoughts we have that are not necessarily helpful, anything that we ever consumed that made us feel wrong or bad or we should change ourselves. It makes us question all that. So from a Black queer perspective. So as a Black queer theater artist, it really spoke to me when I saw it in New York, and then when I got to create our own production here in Boston.
So we had a session yesterday on meditation, and there were some things that the facilitator and guests had spoke to that kind of made me go ouch. And you were similar in a little bit because not actively, but in the past, grew up in church. I identify as a Black gay male and only have been doing that, of the past maybe 10 years, never denied it, but and so that piece about is it in your authenticity? Is it in what you've been conditioned to present? Is it in now, in fairness, is it how you see yourself and your future self, and you're speaking those things that are not, as though they were, and you're living, in the future. And so there's just a lot there. And so I wanted to let folks know while we're talking that if you wait till after the show, don't deviate away from now, but there is an active hyperlink in the comments right now where you can go and get information and look and how to get tickets. But what has it been like? Presumably, now there's some presumptions here. I don't know who the original playwright was, but when you said that you had the rights and the writer's not involved, I wanted to say, and I'm just going to say it, you're able to put a little pepper on it.
Yeah. We put our little, we put our little spice cabinet. We open the spice cabinet, add a little, I'm from Maryland, right outside DC. So I had a little
gosh, you got a little obey. Oh, Jesus. and well, it's not seasoning, but now you're making me think of lump crab, blue crab. Oh,
I'm not a snob about a lot of things, but I don't mess with crab cakes outside of my state. I don't mess with lobster.
You're not gonna do us. We with some folks here make some decent lump crab cakes because they got the recipe from some folks in Baltimore. You ever hear of a Bishop Robert Evans back in the day down in Baltimore? That's where I come from, Bernard Bragg and all of them. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I'll give it a whirl. But same thing. I don't, being in Boston area for so long, I don't mess with lobster rolls outside of Massachusetts.
Outside
or
Massachusetts.
New England.
So we got that credit. We got the credit for the lobster.
Nobody does it like y'all.
but nobody
So
does crab cakes like Maryland crab cakes. I gotta admit, bro, there is, what is it, G&M?
mhm.
That's down there. Oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. Do they still send them from frozen?
Yeah, they still send them around.
Okay,
They're more
let's
expensive now because
yeah, let's
so
let's come back to the
my
strange
bad.
loop because we got
Yeah,
in a strange loop.
we sure did, right? And look, and you looped it back around. So you're good at your
I'm
job.
trying, man.
That's what
I'm
that
trying.
means.
I'm trying. So tell us a little, like give us, it's the loop of someone writing about someone, someone writing about someone and their experience. But when you, I guess, got the actual play, you've seen it, but being able to read it behind the scenes and recalibrate it, what is that experience? What has it been like for you to do that, to add the spice, the Old Bay and whatnot?
It's been great. So, whenever I start directing a new piece, I'm primarily an actor, but I've been directing a lot more, and I really like it. But I
Mhm.
go to like mentors of mine in town, and actually was chatting with one of them, Loretta Greco, at the Huntington, and she was like, I was nervous. I said, I love the Broadway so much. How can I make something that's original
Mm,
and not just copy that? She was like, don't worry about it. You can't copy the Broadway. You don't have that cast. You don't have that audience. You have your audience. You have your cast. You have your budget. You have your stage. So just honor what you loved about the original and just see how that manifests in you. And
mhm,
then think about the things you will want to add to it. And the writer, his name is Michael R. Jackson, and he came on last Wednesday. And he actually was very moved by the piece. Like I said, it's the first time he saw it where he had nothing to do with it. So it's
mhm,
completely
mhm.
our, take on the piece. And he said that he wrote it. He's a black gay
Oh,
man.
okay. All right. There
hmm
was some presumptions there about Broadway and just, he could have been lighter than me. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh. Nope. Black gay man. He wrote it. It's not autobiographical, but
Okay.
it's emotionally autobiographical. So what he's
Mm,
saying, right, is that when you think about your experiences, you can think about them literally,
yep.
but then some of them are just how you felt about it. You might not remember all the details, but you remember how that thing made you feel. So
Right.
that's what's on stage. Some of the stuff that happens is not exactly part of the experience, but it's what that felt like for him, which is real,
Yeah.
just
And
as
it's a
real.
dramatization. So we have to consider that it's a dramatization of some experience, though not autobiography. There's sort of a macro biography that a lot that identify with our demographic experience
Absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
very interesting.
So he came and he said he appreciated a lot of what we did, and he learned. He said he learned some stuff from the piece. But the biggest thing that really hit me was like he wrote it because he didn't see himself on stage represented fully and authentically. So he made this piece. So now that he's made the piece, this is part of the musical theater canon. So now people who look like him, identify with him, can say there's something where I am authentically represented. And then it's like, even if you're not black, queer, all those things, there's stuff in that story that we all can relate to. And we all know what it is to have, I should have told everybody what the plot is. So the central character is Usher, and he really never leaves
Hold on,
stage.
hold on, hold
Oh
on.
yeah, it's not like Usher, like,
'Cause I know everybody's ear said, "Rrr."
mhm,
Go
mhm.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that Usher. Oh, that'd be
We
dope
could have
though.
left it there for a minute. Ticket sales would have said, "Poof." Go ahead.
Give me I want a musical about Usher. I'm like, what happened when you was living with P. Diddy when you was a teenager? Well, too soon. I shouldn't say that. But let me get some Java. Um, so too soon. I'm so sorry,
You're
audience.
good. Listen,
So
you're good. You're good. Come on, let's go.
but that'd be a good musical, but that's not that Usher. He's a usher in a Broadway theater, so he works as an usher.
Okay.
And there's 6 other actors, and they play different, like, thoughts of his. So one actor plays his daily self-loathing. I know. He
That's my
works as an
mother.
usher.
That's my mother.
It's not Usher Raymond, used to date Chili from TLC. It's not that Usher. He works as an usher in a theater. So that's his job. So so then there's other people who play like his thoughts. So there's some person who plays his daily self-loathing, and he'll stop in and be like, I want to remind you how, worthless you are. And then, there's like other people play different thoughts. And then they play different people in his lives, they play people in his past. Because the biggest loop, now I'm getting a little nerdy here, but the biggest loop of the play is that, like we talked about earlier, like the ways we define ourselves, is it our truest selves or is what we've been taught? it's also a loop of like the levels of how deep all that is. So sometimes you have to go, it's deep within you, and you have to kind of, and it loops, it goes deep,
Oh,
and then sometimes it comes up, and then it goes back down. It comes up. So you have to kind of unpack all that to really understand how you need to change,
and
if you
it's
need to change.
interesting because they say every level goes higher and higher. So each time you
Hmm.
go down, you dig something up, you think you got that uncovered, you move a little bit of dirt, and there's a rock there. Then you get that out and you grow a little bit, and then you got to come back down and what do you call it? Till. Ooh, okay. Anyway,
That's it. That's
I'm not gonna
exactly it.
I'm not gonna catch a preach this morning, but okay. So when is blackout night? Is it Friday?
It's this Friday. This is Friday.
Oh, I don't
Anyone?
mean that. So there was another local play that came on, and they gave us comp tickets for Friday, and my mom was on, and so my mother and I for Mother's Day weekend, we're going to that play. And so I can't, unless mom, understands that this is technically work. But no, I'll
You
we'll
can see two shows in the one same weekend. You seeing something else Friday night?
Friday night, I'm with my mom,
Okay.
and then the 11th is the health. I'm having a big health fair, which I got to get y'all some information because if y'all could announce it, that would be great. But I'll figure. Oh, I'm going to see it. I just would like to be there for blackout night, but we'll figure that out. And your team has been great in making sure. Jimmy, let's plan to go. Okay, so Pam and I are going to plan. We'll come together and go to the play. And I'll let the team know when it's good. And, hopefully we get to meet you and do a little BTS and just check in with you. But there's so much. Let me ask you this. When you saw the play, I know you identified with stuff, but I just had a thought when you were talking. Did you cry?
Oh yes. Oh yes. And then it was a mix of things. So one big theme, I'm not giving away too much,
Yes.
but one big theme is the Black church, and how for a lot of Black, gay, and queer people, it's a place of community and joy and uplift. But then for us, it's also a place of, it can be a place of feeling judged and harmed and talked down to. And as much as you love being in that space, the spaces, in some spaces, not all,
Yep.
some are also like, you're going to hell though.
Toxically traumatizing. And that's
Exactly.
after dark. And I thank you for being very specific. Not all, but some. And I think, and this, so I'm also a commissioner on the Black Men and Boys Commission, and I've talked with some folks that move in the space of violence. That in our demographic in our community deals with a lot. And
Hmm.
when any safe space that you go into, and some there don't make it safe, and let's give respect that within that sect there are certain beliefs and whatnot, and there's a lot we identify with them, but there's a couple of things that there's just full disagreement. um it's not all, but anyway, but yeah, I need to get you on a panel. That's after dark. That's an after dark convo, face to
Hmm.
face, where we sit and have this convo, and it's not a negative thing. It's just identifying our experiences to help folks understand. And we're not trying to convert. We're not trying to. You just need to understand that human beings. And I still believe if Jesus was here, his first question would not be who. Well, anyway,
Who you love, it would be something else. Maybe like, let's all share the wealth. Maybe we shouldn't have like this 1% that owns more money than you know anybody combined. Maybe he might be focused on those kind of things.
mhm,
Maybe can everybody have health care? Maybe can you take care of sick people? Can everybody have a home? Those are also very important to Jesus,
mhm.
more so than who I love.
It it
But again, after dark.
and there's growing up in it, it's been interesting, and I know um yeah. So yeah, I told you was gonna be back in the Java Cafe.
I can't wait.
So
Look, I love Java. I drink it all day, all day, all the time.
oh man, I'm down to I'm sometimes fluctuate between 2 cups. I think today's gonna be a 2 cup day. But no, I really look forward to that, and also Pam and I coming to the play and just really seeing it. Because when you started talking about the loathing sort of person, do you remember Sybil?
Yes.
Mm,
Hmm.
this gives me a little bit. Gives me a little bit of Sybil. When you said the loathing, version of oneself comes down, and then the hyper, active self or the response. Man, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing this. This is definitely going to be good. Folks, in the comments, I have the hyperlinks. You can go and get the information You can click the link right there. Pam said, go in. Nope, I'm going to behave. But she was probably talking about you and the equity and stuff that Jesus would be called. Jesus was equitable.
Jesus was equitable. If Jesus were alive today, they'd be calling him woke, overly woke, but we don't need to go there. I will also say, so if you're interested in coming to Blackout this Friday, if anybody doesn't know, it's we take a show-off sale to the general public and try to fill it with as many people who identify as part of the African diaspora. If you don't identify as Black, you're not going to be turned away by any means, but we might just say, like, to honor the spirit of the evening, might you pick another night to come? But it's, Black and brown folks, anyone who identifies as Black and brown, welcome to see it that night. So that way the culture on stage looks like the one off stage. And, and then sometimes, us Black and brown folks, we like to see theater a little different. So that might annoy some people who don't identify.
Listen, I was in an event this weekend. It was a TEDx sort of based event. And so in the instructions, they said, be silent. And then like in the next paragraph, they said Black church. And so I'm like, wait, so y'all can be the Black church, like in between the speakers, but they did it in the middle of the speeches. That's right. I mean, I was even backstage going, So right? It's real. It's real. And you want to be able to do that in a space where someone either doesn't understand in full, sincerity. They're just like, oh, why, that? Why did they respond like that? But also just a space. So I'm at the link, and I don't have the code because I'm telling folks to go to the regular. So how do we put it this way? If you would like to go to Friday night and you would like to get tickets, please email us at info@Java with Jimmy. I'll put that up there now.
And you can also go to our Instagram page.
Okay, let's do that because I got a lot going on this week. Your Instagram is, because I knew I'd get in trouble and miss some folks.
Hold on, let me look. I'm sure I let the young folks handle the Instagram.
Listen, we do production. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with you in just a couple of seconds.
I'm a very sensitive person, and I feel the pain of my people. They know me, they call on me, and I assure them that I'm not a provider, but I am one who cares. I always say to them, well, it's better to know than not to know, because if you know, you can do something about it. Think about the loved ones around you. Think about the ones that love seeing you come through that door. Take the step and get tested. That's it.
Save lives and get screened for colon cancer. For more information, visit boston.gov/cancer.
Hey, folks, while we're on that and have two Black men on the screen before you, let's make sure we remember that this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., we are having our third annual Your Healthy Java Joseph R. Betancourt Health Fair, Saturday, May 11th from 11 to 3 p.m. at 575 Warren Street. Listen, I just announced this morning, but I want to give a shout out to Bayer and also Johnson & Johnson. We got some major corporate sponsors that are supporting and taking different ways of investing in health equity and ensuring that they're putting some support around platforms like this, and where, we don't hear about health fairs and stuff as much, Maurice, as we used to, health fairs and things like that. So folks, don't forget that this Saturday from 11 to 3 p.m., you can go and register. Sir, we're giving away gift cards. We're giving away opportunities to get custom pairs of sneakers made. And listen, we're if you're not, well, I know you're going to be busy.
I'm out of town this weekend, but I will send people there. I think that's
please do, because we need to have health information, and also being two Black men that's in another subset of a marginalized community. This after dark is. I already got a text. Somebody said, James, you got a little different energy this morning.
The truth.
So, man, listen, how can folks reach you all on IG?
Look, is that too basic? Is that too old school?
I can type a banner. Just hold on. Look, I got
is that too old school?
front.
They're gonna talk about me on my
No, but
staff.
this is true. This is like a clip. This is truly art.
The front porch arts on
All
Instagram.
one word. The front porch. Okay, IG at the front porch ARTS. All
Yeah.
one word.
All one word.
So this is where you go to Instagram. And on Instagram, it gives folks the information about Blackout Night with the code and everything like that. So this is where you now. I have I have a whole mother's board in here. A whole mother's board. There's about 10 or 12 of them. They pray, they do their own little social things and all that. And so some of y'all may not be on Instagram. And while some of the mothers are progressive, you know what? Some of our mothers are more progressive than some of our.
They are. And I can give the code. It's just if you go to the main site to get tickets, you click Friday night and put in the code blackout.
Okay.
And then you're all set.
Is it case sensitive or? All right. So blackout is the code. All right. And let's just reiterate. No one's going to be turned away, but it is stated here that space is being created for folks to watch Strange Loop in a way that is going to be heavily shaped by our culture. And so you go to IG, listen, go to IG, but also if you go to the website that I put in the comments here and you go to get Friday tickets, you can put the code blackout to get your tickets there for Friday night. But the play is in Boston through May 25th. And so I want to make sure that folks know about that. And blackout code is only for Friday night. So don't email us or talk about, I put the blackout code. I was trying to take my mother on Sunday. Well, it's blacked out. It was only for Friday. Maurice, I appreciate you being with us. I definitely would like to be in touch with you and get you to come chat with us about a few things. I love your stance around equity and also being real and balanced about just some things with which our demographic are currently are and will unfortunately still deal with. But, something came up the other day, and I think you believe in this, and we'll end with this before I go do some promotion of some stuff. I'll end the segment with this by saying it is the front. Who's Lou's Portfolio Photography?
Oh,
they're on Instagram making sure we get all the information.
Yes, yes. They're colleagues.
C's, what's up, brother? Oh, we got folks over on Instagram. They enjoyed your pen and paper, old school arts. So folks over on Instagram are enjoying it, man. But it is just imperative that we keep creating spaces like this. I forgot the wonderful closing thought I was getting ready to make, but sir, I appreciate you and just your spirit and candor, and I look forward to working with you and doing some things. And that After Dark is face to face. That's going to be lit. And instead of Java at After Dark, we have espresso martinis.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to it. And thank you for being a community and promoting the work. We really appreciate it. And
All
spending
day,
your time.
All day, sir. We'll be in touch.
Sounds good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Give the team my best. They're holding you down. I really enjoyed my meeting with them.
What do you think I got? The text that had the IG handle on it. Someone sent it to me when I said I didn't know what it was. I got 3 team members sent it to me. So
was one of them from the Tom's team? Yeah, I'm sure they're watching. And so we'll get y'all the video if y'all. No, that was awesome to have that happen right there. Real arts production, authenticity in the Java Cafe at the real time. So we didn't get into a strange loop. We got out of that real quick. And folks, we here. We got you. Your team got you backed up over on Instagram, man. Maurice, thank you. And I'll definitely be in touch, and we'll talk soon.
All right, talk soon.
All right,
have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hey, folks, today was filled with arts and education. Like, wow. So Pam and I are going to go see that. I could almost see a Java night, but trying to pull that off by May 25th, I'm not sure. But listen, folks, listen. We need to make sure that we pack out the Thelma Burns building this Saturday from 11 to 3 p.m. As I mentioned, Johnson & Johnson and Bayer is our sponsor. And they've made an investment in making sure that our community gets the health information we need. We're not doing a panel this year. We are doing health information, food, and I need to announce that our caterer for Saturday is Everybody Got to Eat. Brother Manny Merville and his team. Now y'all aren't going to, they're the Diddy Burgers and all that other stuff. Now we don't got that type of budget. But and let me keep it 100. You ain't coming in just to get a eat. You're going to come, go through the health fair. When you finish the health fair, you get a ticket. You're going to get your food and bye-bye. And so things are going to be a little bit different this year because of logistics. Last year, folks showed up that didn't register for tables. So let me put that out there. Please don't come to table if you did not register. We don't post that publicly. Among providers, we get the links out because we're very specific about who's coming into the space and those we have relationships with or those that will liaise new relationships. But don't come if you didn't register for a table. Also, please go and register. I want to remind folks that if you register and if you are one of the first 100 to register, where is the daggone link? If you are of the first 100 to register and also are of the first 50 to check in at registration, pre-register, let me say that, pre-register, you are automatically entered to get a $100 Stop and Shop gift card. I think ASEA reminded us that last year was only $25. This year it's $100. Last year, ASEA walked away with $725. So we're giving out certificates to get custom pair of sneakers. We're giving out all types of gift cards, Stop and Shop, Shaw's, Target, may do a couple of Visa high-end cards for folks. I'm going to walk around and just be giving stuff away to people that are there. But most importantly, health information. Health information, the experts, the doctors, the physician assistants, the nurses. These folks are going to be at those tables, and people in the Java Cafe can attest. Folks walked out with literal recommendations for them to take back to their doctors, and they're doing well. It just call me Keith. And what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. Keith and Elijah are over. Kristen's on, one of our TEDx speakers, over on Instagram as well. Good to see y'all. Y'all help me spread the word about the big health fair this coming Saturday. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Johnson & Johnson and Bayer, and also the new Commonwealth Fund. Sister Makiba McQuarrie quietly has put support behind the Java Cafe in general. And we did not get the opportunity to sort of make that announcement and give her and the agency their flowers. And so somebody that's watching maybe on LinkedIn or wherever, please tag Makiba and the new Commonwealth Fund and let them know our appreciation for them, as well as Ryan and Lauren and Bridget over at Johnson & Johnson, and Danielle and others over at and Jenny over at Bayer. And so Saturday is going to be a wonderful day. So please come out. A day in community. I heard it's supposed to be a night stay, and we got DJ Jeff 2 times is going to be going to be on the 1s and 2s. And if I'm confident that the weather's going to be okay, we might sneak a different DJ outside so you can get one vibe when you go in and get your health information. Come outside, get your food and eat. And so not as stationary this year. We'll have a couple of chairs maybe for our mothers to be there for a few moments or a little bit, but we're getting folks in and out so we can rotate them through getting the health information they need. So come on Saturday. We're glad to have you there. And it is 10:01. So UCB, y'all got y'all little 90 minutes today. Let me go and just check in on some of the comments. I saw Sharon Cornelius in the building. Camille is in the building. Sister Debbie's in the building. Who else is in the building? Anthony Davis Jr. is in the building. I'm up at the top. All right. Pam said, happy to comp tickets for the Java fam. Send me a DM and I'll share the link. If you would like to go for the equity event tomorrow, please hit Pam in her DMs. Nicole, good morning to you. Pastor Marion, I will follow up with your text. I think she's going Friday or Saturday as well to Brother Melvin Murphy's play. My mother still has her $10 Stop and Shop gift card. Lord have mercy. Anthony is going. Who wants to go to break? Oh, Anthony. Pam, when it comes to that stuff, well, you do it and you know Anthony M's work, but listen. John Michael Kennedy, good to see you. Strange Loop play at the Boston Center for the Arts, Calderwood Pavilion. So that's where it's taking place. for the play. I think I got everybody. Pops is in the building. He will be. Oh, I didn't even see you all in the comments there. What's up, John? The Frenchport Arts Collective for info at Blackout Night and Full Run. Follow IG. They was holding him down in here like the team often does for me, making sure I get links and stuff as well. Shout out to TDS and Anissa and ABM for holding me down as well. You'll see them this weekend. Oh, speaking of TDS, there was an anniversary this week. So y'all do me a favor before we get ready to go. Can y'all help me wish Anthony and Erin a happy first anniversary? They celebrated their first wedding anniversary. I believe it was on Sunday or Monday, and they have been traveling, supporting Pops in his recovery, working, supporting other folks that are getting married and whatnot. And so they've just been great for the platform, become great friends, brother and sister. And it's just awesome to see their growth, and congratulations again to my brother. We went to the Boston Magazine event last night, and seeing Anthony work that room and Erin as well was just awesome. So please help me wish them a happy anniversary here in the Java Cafe. Pops was the first one. There we go. Mama Java probably going to be right after him. And Pops, please give our best to Mother as well. Pops will be on with us sometime this month. As you know, he had a mini stroke, and he's coming to talk about it, things to pay attention to, his journey. That's going to be an episode. That's going to be an episode. So that is coming very soon. Auntie Java is on. Happy blessed anniversary to the Davis team. Keith, good to see you, nephew. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for keeping our ears wonderfully when we listen to the wonderful sister that you play for, otherwise known as her. Like, I know my neighbors are tired because I listen to her all. I can't say it right now because Alexa's going to, yo, Alexa didn't do the thing today. I must have the volume turned down. All right, I'm getting off of here. Oh, Pam forgot to mention, because we were just engulfed in the conversation about the work, and somebody that has been about this work. Listen, he was the mayor's former czar for education. He has done a lot in the education space and also an advocate in many ways. Newt said Alexa is tired. Shut up. And so we want to celebrate the good brother Ron Dorsey, Tehran, to say his whole government. Tehran Dorsey is being honored tomorrow at the Equity Fund event from Eastern Bank. And so, Ron, we celebrate you. Salute to you. We love you. Thank you for all that you do. We need to get you in here and chat with us, because that is a deep but simple. When I say simple, his philosophy and how he presents the deepness is just, you sit there and you're like, okay, all right, that's what we're going to do. So that brother's being honored tomorrow. So please go out and support the event. Pam said if you would like to go, to please DM her. Jess is in the building, excited for all of the things that Boston Education Fund is doing. So y'all getting a lot of love over on there, Pam, over on Instagram. All right, I'm getting off of here, everyone. I need to go pick up these posters so we can get the last minute guerrilla marketing rush out that we're doing for Saturday to get folks to come to the health fair. So once again, shameless plug, please plan to come out Saturday. Go ahead and pre-register at this link here to make sure that you are eligible to be entered into the drawing for a $100 gift card to Stop and Shop. You must pre-register, be one of that 100, and then be one of the 50 people of that 100 to check in at the Thelma Burns building. That's it for me, everyone. Have a great and wonderful day. Today is Testimony Tuesday, so keep in mind that, you know, some of the tests and things you're dealing with, you got over the ones in the past, you'll get through this too. All right. Talk to everybody tomorrow at 9 a.m. Have a great day. Listen, we're getting ready to put the posters and stuff up. If you see the health fair posters in the community, post them. Take a picture and post them. I might tag you and say, come see me Saturday and get a gift card. Mainly on IG. All right. But Facebook and stuff too. So post them. If you see the flyers in the community, post them and tag Java with Jimmy or along all social media. And you might just be lined up for a gift card on Saturday. Last couple of comments, and we're really out of here since UCB already got their 90 minutes. Y'all doing good this week. Y'all need to be giving out gift cards. Yes, Ma, I will eat and drink, doing better. Miss Teresa isn't in today. We'll check on her I mean, no, did she have an appointment? I don't know. I don't remember. I think she had an appointment this week. All right, I'm rambling. I'm off of here. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for being part of the Java fam. And we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. All right. Peace, everybody.